Hey everyone, apologies for the few minutes delay. I'm new to YouTube Live. Welcome to my humble abode. Got a nice fire for you here, and I'm going to do a set of original songs for the next hour. Nancy, it's happening right now. So, my name's James Lee Baker. I am a folk singer, songwriter, poet, father, and I just released an album in September of last year called 100 Summers, and it's been a great ride, and I wanted to share all of those songs with you tonight. So I'll be playing most of the tracks from that album. This first song is starts in my upbringing. I was born and raised in Amarillo, Texas, to a family who, among many great qualities, was also spiritual. And many of the men in my life served roles in the Baptist faith, either as a minister or as a deacon. And while I didn't follow in their footsteps, I grew up to become a man and understand the difficulty of pursuing a passion, especially of that devotion and the sacrifice that it has. This is called Leave the Saving Souls for Later. You suppose that the Son of Man knew that he had no doubts about what to do? Did he lay awake paralyzed from second thoughts of his own demise? Between crusades and the Inquisitions, the indigenous slain through Spanish missions, I'll have it done in his name. Would all he preached be heard in vain? Even if he was perfect in every way, you don't have to be a sinner to feel afraid. I want to take you to the river. We'll cast our nets into the waters. We can catch us some dinner and leave the saving souls for later. In a two-piece pinstripe suit and tie, with the morning sleep still in your eyes, you part the Bible like Moses parts the sea. You've got so many lives left to set free, while the camera sits on the shelf next to a portrait of the Lord himself. Your children play out in the yard, sowing memories and reaping scars. We are made from the dust upon the earth. To that dust we will return. I want to take you to the river. We'll cast our nets into the waters. We can catch us some dinner and leave the saving souls for later. good word, it does not change. It doesn't come and go, and it doesn't age. It doesn't long to make someone proud, then disappear into the crowd. Will you lay your yoke down and come with me? For soon you'll be just a memory. I want to take you to the river. We'll cast our nets into the waters. We can catch us some dinner and leave the saving souls for later. Thank you. For folks joining, my name is James Lee Baker, and welcome to my Folk Unlocked showcase for Folk Alliance. It's good to be with you all. I haven't played a set this long in quite a while because of COVID, so it's nice to get all these songs dusted off. My father's grandfather was a cowboy in Hutchinson County, Texas. He herded cattle in a number of different places, but that's where he ended up settling and met my great-grandmother. As he got older and retired, he moved in with us. So it was kind of interesting to be in a home with 5 people and having my grandparents live with us. But it was a time I'll never forget. And my father, he was a machinist, he still is a machinist, works for a company that builds right-angle gear drives that pump water out of the Ogallala Aquifer and other aquifers, of course, to irrigate crops all over the world. And so I wrote a song sort of intersecting their stories together. This is called The Last Cowboy in Hutchinson County. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Bill. Thanks for joining. Corporate chain of grocery stores settled into town, ran specials every week, drove the meat prices down. The feedlots came next, then the processing plants. They offered better pay, so the workers left the ranch. This was one fence the herdsman couldn't mend. It seemed his time on the range was coming to an end. How could he bear to ride in a stockyard pen, confined by steel bars and concrete? Raise a sharp young man to do the same, then waller in old age and defeat. There are those who can never be tamed, like the stubborn last cowboy in Hutchinson County. The machinist builds gear drives that turn the water pumps around to pull the moisture from the earth, from the outskirts of town, to quench the fields of white corn for the harvest ahead, to fatten the longhorn steer, make a damn good loaf of bread wrapped in a burlap rag cut from the sack that held the corn, tucked in the satchel of the herdsman from whom the machinist was born. These are changing times for a dying breed. It for the only son of a simple man who cut the teeth of his dreams on books and magazines and the World Wide Web in his hand. His future is too bright for him to see. He's the son of the last cowboy in Hutchinson County. At 6 a.m. the shift bell rings, the machinist leaves the shop, hangs his safety hat on the rack, punches the time clock, rolls the windows down of his four-door sedan at the edge of the parking lot to let some fresh air in. In the stillness of the twilight, a restlessness ensues that the hum of the power lines and the street lights can't subdue. It's a 3-mile drive through suburban streets. The smell of feedlots fill the air, and everyone at home is sound asleep, except an old weathered man in his chair. The machinist pours coffee to drink, then sits with the last cowboy from Hutchinson County. Thank you. So, hey Luke, hey Brian, it's good to see you guys. Luke, man, your photographs are getting so good. We're going to have to do a session together. I don't know if I can wear a bathing suit, though. Thanks, Kenneth. Yeah, it's a fun story. It was definitely gifted to me from the muse. I don't take all the credit for it. As a songwriter, it's great being able to tell the stories of other people, and that's really where the magic happens, is getting to know people and getting to a point where you see something that you want to talk about and finding a way to carve it so that it's unique. In my hometown where I grew up, about 45 minutes north, is a river called the Canadian River. And when I was a kid, we used to go out there sometimes to do four-wheeling and other things like that. But it was always a very beautiful place. The desert and the arid landscapes of the Southwest are really magical. They're an acquired taste. But, as I get older, and emerging out of a religious community and family, I needed to find my own connection with the divine or the universe or existence or whatever you would like to call it. And I've always found a connection to nature. I've always felt that there was some reverence to it. And so this song is about that. It's called the Canadian River. It's a Sabbath day in this water tower town. The steeples light up as the sun goes down, and every business is closed in the name of the Lord, except for the religious bookstores. Only an hour's drive from my front door to my favorite spot near the river shore. I pack up my short bed, secondhand truck. If I leave right now, I'll get there before dusk. The Milky Way is my canopy, and the only one holding me is gravity. The river's my church, is where I come to pray. I am sending my thanks with my knees in the clay when I seek forgiveness for my careless mistakes. I let the Canadian River wash my shortcomings away. Now don't get me wrong, I believe that inner voice, but I also believe in a world of choice. If you were God and you made the birds in the sky, wouldn't you want to see them fly? I lay my head down and I close my eyes, and I am baptized in golden moonlight. The river's my church, it's where I come to pray. I am sending thanks with my knees in the clay when I seek forgiveness for my careless mistakes. I let the Canadian River wash my shortcomings away. I can hear a coyote singing into the night. He's got his way of giving praises, and I've got mine. The river's my church, it's where I come to pray. I am sending thanks with my knees in the clay when I seek forgiveness for my careless mistakes. I let the Canadian River wash my shortcomings away. Thank you. So since we're on this subject, John Gorka has a song, I believe it's called Arm's Length. It's a wonderful song. Check it out if you like John Gorka. And thanks, Kenneth. And one of the lines in that song is, God was lonely above, so he made us to dream through. That's what I'm thinking of when I tell you I love you, which I just thought was a great line. So, it was I just kind of really liked the idea, so I turned it into a song. So this is really about empathy for me. It's about the idea of how insignificant we are as individuals, but yet paradoxically how valuable we are. And it's called Through Us, the infinite is dreaming. Imagine for a moment you have always been eternal, but you're all alone. You're the only one, not another to compare to, no example to guide you, no distant horizon, no setting or rising sun. Without a mother to hold you, or a father to console you, no brotherly love, no help from above, no achievement, no struggle, no pleasure or pain, no way to make it stop, a sense of going insane. Oh, what it might be to know duality, or what it feels like to show compassion for some temporary being, to forget about this solitary feeling you chose to dream in new realities. Now imagine that you're a leaf falling to the ground from the smallest branch of the smallest tree. Tell me, what was your purpose, buried deep within a forest that shrouds the land as far as a man could see? Oh, the answer is right in front of us, so profound yet simple. It's this temporariness that gives life meaning. The insignificance is deceiving. Through us, the infinite is dreaming vicariously of new realities. Right. So, on to my love life. Thank you all for hanging around and for listening to these tunes. So, I'm a big fan of Santa Barbara. I'm a big fan of California, except for how expensive it is. But they say you pay for the sunshine. And this song is really about it's about personal transformation, right? We go through big changes in our life, and sometimes they're really difficult. Sometimes they're really valuable, but every time that happens, we change, and we wouldn't be who we are today without those transformations, right? And so I look at the city of Santa Barbara and its historic mission, and the bells ringing and swaying in the breeze. And I realized that mission building wouldn't have been there had the city not burned down. So it's about your best foot forward. It's called Santa Barbara. Said farewell to San Francisco at the cusp of spring and summertime. I am following the winding slopes down the 101 to Anaheim. She kept the house, gave me the car. She wouldn't drive the hills of the city streets. So I packed my things and I headed south. I had to get the hell out of North Beach. When the freeway met the ocean and the ocean met the setting sun, I felt the page of my story turn as the road merged into Highway 1. Santa Barbara, I've come to hear your mission bells ring, to feel the warm sand on my feet and the balmy Pacific breeze on my skin. I am here to start a new life again. You were a treasure chest of the gold rush, once a dangerous and lawless place, a bandit and a gambler's haven, found in the spoils to these United States. Your tragedies, they redefine you like a phoenix quickened in the hills. Rebirth from the ashes of earthquakes, wildfires, and oil spills. And I am nestled in the bosom of the Santa Ynez mountain side, cradled in your June gloom fog that looks like a blanket on the outside. Santa Barbara, I have come to hear your mission bells ring, to feel the warm sand on my feet and the balmy Pacific breeze on my skin. I am here to start a new life again. I am here to start my new life again. Hey, Paul. It's good to see you. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah, that one. Oof. Hold on. There we go. Since Paul's here. So this next song is about my uncle, who is a career truck driver. And I remember when I was a kid, he used to come and visit us because he didn't live where we lived. So he'd swing through town, and he'd park his semi, and always bring a 6-pack of Michelob and a pack of cigarettes, sit and drink and talk, and then he retired recently, started driving a cab, which is cool. So this is a song I wrote, kind of inspired by him. And Paul Nelson helped me finish. Yeah, it's called 18-Wheeler. Eighteen-wheeler without a trailer, 17 minutes past the hour. 16 miles to our front door. Then I hang these keys up for a while. 15 years since we settled down, 14 of them spent on the road. A 13-year-old baby girl just aching to get out on her own. The miles keep rolling on the dashboard. I watch the second hand turn slowly around the face of the clock. I count the days, I count the hours, till I'm finally with the one I love. 12 sunflowers on the passenger seat, 11-year California wine, shifting down through 10 gears as I cross the city limit sign. The miles keep rolling on the dashboard. I watch the second hand turn slowly around the face of the clock. I count the days, I count the hours, till I'm finally with the one I love. Exit Texas Highway 9, the 8-tracks playing Fleetwood Mac's 7 Wonders. There's all of these numbers, it's like I'm looking out there for a sign telling me that it's time to come home to you. I come home to you. 6 cold beers, 5 o'clock news, 4 more smokes left in the pack, 3 square meals, 2 sweethearts, and I'm one lucky man who's glad to be back. The miles keep rolling on the dashboard. I watch the second hand turn slowly around the face of the clock. I count the days, I count the hours, till I'm finally with the one I love. Till I'm finally with the one I love. Till I'm finally with the one I love. Thanks for the countdown, Paul. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I miss Shanna. Yeah. Riding on the Wall. Oh man, you're an original fan, huh? I don't remember how to play that one, but I'll put it on my to-do list. Kenneth, I appreciate that. That was like 2011. My friend Aaron says that's his favorite Vertical Horizon song. Cool. All right. So I want to get into the nitty gritty. Okay. So I was in a relationship for 7 years, and that ended a few years ago. It was a beautiful relationship, but it was difficult. It was mostly difficult because the whole time I was in it, I just knew in my heart of hearts it wasn't going to last, and I think that did me in. And it wasn't until it was over with that I realized that knowing that and feeling that and not acting on it, out of the desire to not hurt my partner, ended up hurting them more. And so this song is really about facing myself. It's about confronting myself and being vulnerable enough to share that with everyone else. It also has a really cool backstory, but the story is kind of woven into this song. Your first international flight to a place that you have never been, to meet a woman kind and fair from a gentle, peculiar land. You thought you went there to find your darling eternal lover, but little did you realize it was yourself that you would discover. A feeling in your gut you refer to divine intuition, a sudden urge to walk away, but you insisted that you take this mission. Like a thirsty, stubborn mule, you didn't listen and you never do. Eager to fill the void inside, determined to see this through. There are angels on the other side, and you believe they were your guides, telling you she was not the one. But all they were trying to do was protect her from you. She would greet you at the gate with her arms stretched open wide. How could she have known what you'd do in the 7 years it would pass by? When your eyes met at last, it was in that moment that you knew that you did not belong to her. She did not belong to you. There are angels on the other side, and you believe they were your guides, telling you she was not the one. But all they were trying to do was protect her from you. One foot in and 1 foot out, cataloging her every flaw. Half your heart was full of doubt from keeping track of them all. And now you lay in bed at night, surprised she showed no grief when she up and disappeared. Now all you want is some relief. There are angels on the other side, if you believe they were your guides, telling you she was not the one. But all they were trying to do was protect her from you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Welcome. I'm James Lee Baker. This is my Folk Unlocked showcase. It's good to see you all. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, that was a hard song to write, but I needed to write it. That's how I got through it all. This next song is a song that I had the pleasure of co-writing with Robbie Hecht. He's a songwriter and folk artist out of Nashville. We sat and stewed about different mission statements that we wanted to write about, and we both gravitated towards one about the new world man becoming the old world man. And it's so relevant today, this day and age, because I see a lot of people, including myself, are getting older and starting to I get a little more cynical, sometimes I have to catch myself, Hey, Luke. Oh, yeah, you get a song. I'm going to write you a song. 2021, baby. All right, this is called A New Man's World. looking in the mirror at the gray hairs on my face. I can still remember the younger boy who didn't shave. And now the manager that I work for is younger than me, the one who signs my paycheck at the end of the week. I was a new world man in the days of old. Now I'm an old world man in a new man's world. Now I can't follow the news slang or even keep up with my phone. Technology connects us all together, but we're more alone. The videos, the TV, only telling bad news, while outside the sun's still shining in a sky of blue. I was a new world man in the days of old. Now I'm an old world man in a new man's world. Safety in the shadows of the cynical and afraid, as the world around me changes with every passing day. But there's always a choice between fear and love, so I'll embrace the changes when they come. I was a new world man in the days of old. Now I'm an old world man in a new man's world. Thank you. So we got a few more left. Thanks for supporting me and sticking around. This next song is inspired by a lunch conversation that I had with some friends. This is also about growing old. It's about grief. It's about pressing forward through grief and about getting it back in life at times when it's really difficult. Hey, it's Rick from the band. I'm sitting here at home. I thought I'd check in. Could you pick up the phone? It's been a few months now, and I know your life has changed. You and I, we haven't spoken since Holly passed away. I've come to realize since my heart attack in April, I need to do what I love as long as I am able. So I'm giving you a call to see how you'd feel about getting the band together for a meal. You can wipe the dust off your Bellows. I'll play the. I don't remember. Hold on. I'm sorry. You can wipe the dust off your Bellows. I'll string up my guitar. We'll play the alligator waltz. The buckwheat's back in your arms. Life is one big performance, and we are the stars. So wipe the dust off your Bellows. Please come play your part. Back in the day, the ladies called you to squeeze, 'cause you'd steal a girl's heart when your fingers touch the keys. The only woman you fancied, the boys wanted to. Thank God she had the moxie to propose to you. I can see her smiling in the front row. If Holly were here today, I know that she'd want you to take the keys out and play. But I'm running out of tape on your answering machine. Just give me a call back when you're free. You can wipe the dust off your bellows. We'll play the key of Zydeco. I'll take the harmony, and you can break out your solo. Life is one big performance, and we are the stars. So wipe the dust off your bellows. Please come play your part. Wipe the dust off the bellows of your heart. Thank you. We got a few more songs, 3 more songs. Thanks for your support, everyone. Paul, I'm excited. Are you doing a showcase? Bill wants to know. Okay, so as I had mentioned back in September, I released a full-length album. It was recorded at Blue Rock Studios under the great guy, Chris Bell. He was a guy that recorded with the Eagles and Christopher Cross and a few other really great bands and artists, and some great session players. It was a really fun experience, and being able to hone these songs and then release the album out as a full-length album it's like a book. It's a hardcover book. I hired an illustrator. We had a really great relationship. So there's a lot of artwork that extends the song. So if you're still into CDs, this is kind of a premiere experience. Paid a little extra to make it happen and bring it to life. And you can get that on my Bandcamp website, or you can just go to my website at jamesleebaker.com and click on the link. This is the title track from that album. It's called 100 Summers. I don't daydream about being a rich man to pay the bills to keep my passions alive. I don't need 1,000 friends who don't know me to make me think I've had a good life. I don't long for how I haven't lived yet, or for the home that I haven't quite made. All I really have is the gift of today. So why would I give that away? If I could have one wish, it would be to live a life full of meaning and wonder. Oh, for 100 summers. There's not some bucket list folded in my wallet, burning a hole in the pocket of my dreams. Yes, there are things I would like to experience, but without them I will still feel complete. And while I love you more than I've loved anyone, and I would give my life to spare yours, you have your own desires, and I have mine. We've our own trials and sorrows to endure. If I could have one wish, it would be to live a life full of meaning and wonder. Oh, for 100 summers. Our children run around and giggle in the front yard on a day that brought sunshine and thunder. I'm sipping your homemade peach iced tea, dodging water balloons and sunburns. If I could have one wish, it would be to live a life full of meaning and wonder. If given wealth untold, I would trade it all just to have these moments so tender. Oh, for 100 summers. Thank you. So I've just got a couple more left for you. We live in a time where women today have a lot more respect and freedom than they used to. We've still got a ways to go. But I wanted to write a song about our role as men in this world, and how easy it is for us to overreach. This is that. On the 6th day of creation, God put Adam in a slumber, took a rib from his side to create another. From his side he did take, not from his head or his feet, so that in his Garden of Eden equals they would be. An eternal life in paradise, all was perfect, all was right, no worries and no strife, until she took just one bite. Then sin cast them out with shame, and somewhere along the way, in the thorny, ragged briar, she received the blame. Oh, if Eve hadn't eaten the apple, would we know of the name of the wife of Cain, or the widow who gladly gave her mites? If Eve hadn't taken a bite. The Apostle Paul once said, for every woman on this earth, there is a God-fearing man that should be the head of her. But even the proudest of men were all once sucklings on a breast, helpless, safe in a mother's love, heartbeat to heartbeat, chest to chest. Oppression comes from fear, and fear comes from survivalism. Survivalism is just ego. Ego is just a prison for our daughters and our mothers, sisters, and our lovers. They are all and have always been our equals. Oh, if Eve hadn't eaten the apple, would we know of the name of the wife of Cain, or the widow who gladly gave her mites? Oh, if Eve hadn't taken a bite. Thank you. So I got room for one more. I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting me tonight. It's been great to see friends come in and out, and I hope to be doing more performances in 2021. I'm also working on writing new material and getting ready for my next project. So I'm coming out of the woodworks a little bit more, and we'll keep you posted on things. This next song is another song I had the pleasure of sharing with a friend of mine. Fortunately, I seem to have misplaced something. Hold on one second. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to pivot. My apologies. I'm missing a capo. Okay. So, when I was 18, I made the bold attempt to get the hell out of my parents' house by joining the Army. I was going to be a linguist, a cryptologic linguist. And I scored really high on the Defense Language Aptitude Battery test, so I knew it was going to be a difficult language, whichever one they gave it to me. It ended up being a choice between Korean or Arabic. But right around as the time when they were discussing those decisions for all of us, I had a sleep deprivation seizure. It was really weird. I used to have them when I was a kid, and they promptly booted me out of the military because they didn't want me in their foxhole. That's what the doctor said. It was a weird experience. It was fun. It was adventurous. But while I was there, I met a guy who joined the military in his 30s because he was supposed to be in the World Trade Center on the day of the attacks, and he called in sick. So I wrote this song about his story. Some nights I dream that I am falling from a window down into the street, trying to grab hold of something, and I'm breaking through the sunbeams, wishing that I was still asleep. I am woken up by screaming in the darkness on a bunk bed that feels like concrete in the barracks of the Army in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. The drill sergeant calls us to our feet. He yells, "What makes the green grass grow, soldiers? Blood, bright red blood," we shout back. But in only 8 weeks, we'll be killing machines. And there's no green grass in Iraq. Some nights nights I dream that I am falling from a window down into the street, trying to grab hold of something, and I'm breaking through the sunbeams and wishing that I was still asleep. I think a lot about that September morning. I watched the whole thing unfold on the news. My co-workers and friends all met their end. I was sick at home with the flu, so I turned in my 2-week notice. I knew exactly what I had to do. I mustered up the courage and I stepped out of the brokerage and into a pair of boots. Some nights I dream that I'm falling from a window down into the street, trying to grab hold of something, but I'm breaking through the sunbeams, wishing that I was still asleep. Thank you very much. So glad you guys are here to support me. We'll see you around.